Donald Trump will soon become the 47th president of the United States. It's a momentous political comeback for the former president, convicted felon and double assassination survivor. He has so far claimed 295 votes, clearing the way for his return to the White House. Nevada and Arizona are the two states yet to be called, but they're both leaning towards Trump. Joining me now for discussion is Chuck Schumer's former advisor, Jim Kessler. Hi there, Jim. Great for you to join us. You know, there was talk earlier about the Democrats now shifting blame among each other. You know, is there really self-reflection about the party's identity, about the strategy, about the way forward?
Yeah, there's going to be a lot of that, and I think it's clear to folks who really want to be honest about it that Kamala Harris lost because she was carrying too much of Joe Biden's baggage, and a lot of that is Joe Biden ran as a centrist. He didn't quite govern as a centrist, particularly in the areas of border security, in the areas of crime. And, you know, he kind of sort of like looked the other way as inflation was growing. And then, of course, there was Biden's age. And really, people just didn't think he should run for re-election. By the time Kamala Harris became the nominee, which was because of a Biden disastrous debate performance, she had, you know, less than 6 months to run a successful campaign. Her running mate really wasn't Tim Walz, the Minnesota governor. Her running mate was Joe Biden, a very unpopular president.
And, you know, is there some way to balance the Democrats' progressive agenda with this need to appeal to, you know, broader electorates, more moderates?
Right. I mean, look, you know, this was when Democrats are seen as too progressive, they don't win national races. All right. So the progressives are super important, and they're a large part of the Democratic coalition. But there are more people who are politically conservative in America than politically progressive by a margin of 3-2. So when a Democrat wins a national election, it's because they win 60% of self-identified moderate votes. Kamala Harris won about 55, 56% of them. That's a majority, but that's not a big enough majority. And, you know, look, voters were saying to the White House and to Democrats, like, we are concerned about the border, we are concerned about crime, we are concerned about inflation. And I just think Democrats were very too slow on the mark. They got to the right place eventually, but a year or two too late.
Jim, what's your outlook for the Trump presidency? How's it going to differ from, say, 8 years ago? Will there be less of a scramble in terms of hiring people? Will there be less, you know, Trump tweeting left, right, and center, or Xing, you'd say now?
Look, I'd expect a lot of chaos. Here's one of the things that's different. In 2016, Trump got elected. A lot of the people he hired were fairly mainstream. Those people abandoned him and he abandoned them. So there's going to be a lot of very extreme folks in his administration, people that have views that are kind of outlandish. I mean, it's very possible that the Secretary of Health and Human Services will be Robert F. Kennedy Jr., who's not just against the COVID vaccine, he's against pretty much all vaccines. So
against fluoride in water.
Yes, fluoride in water, exactly. So he will have people more extreme and sort of out of the mainstream folks in his cabinet and around him. And then the other thing is, he was a novice when he took the job last time, and he's not this time. So I think, in a way, his presidency will be more quote unquote effective. It won't necessarily be better. It'll be that he will be able to get more of the things he wants to get done. Whether that's good or bad, we shall see.
And how will Elon Musk influence Trump's policies, whether it's business or China? Will he be the China middle person?
Yeah, so this is another situation where he wants to put Elon Musk in charge of, you know, a lot of, you know, government reform. He's never worked in government, so who knows how that's going to be. You know, AI, you know, we'll see how that goes. Elon Musk, I mean, he has back channels to Vladimir Putin. I mean, I really think the world needs to look at the United States and wonder, like, how reliable is this ally going to be? You know, looking at AUKUS in your region of the country, Trump had said before about Taiwan, it's 100 miles away from mainland China. It's 8,000 miles away from the United States. Why should we care? And we know that he's in favor of Russia over Ukraine. So expect an upheaval there.
And what do you make of the sort of reactions from global leaders so far? For example, from Putin? Only a comment.
Right. I mean, so Putin is ecstatic. The West had its throat on Putin for the last 3 years. Well, at least from American standpoint, like, the U.S. boot is going to be taken off. Trump promises, quote unquote, peace there. He will try to negotiate a deal. I am certain it will be favorable to Russia. It might be one of the most, I hate to say it, like, cowardly acts that the United States has done in my memory, abandoning Ukraine, supporting Russia and Putin.
Thank you so much for your time. I'm sure we'll speak soon. Chuck Schumer's former advisor, Jim Kessler.